So I hear people say that, in a truck application, you probably shouldn't be running 12s. Um, I'm going to run two 12 Type Rs in this enclosure. However, I do have a pair of 8s that I plan on building another box for. I kind of want to see the performance between the two. Obviously, the 12 is going to be louder because, well, surface area is king. And two 12s is about the same surface area as four 8s. So I'm trying to get a couple more of these 8 DDs to go in my beautiful black truck here. I'm going to show you the digital design subwoofers 8s that I have currently. So I got a couple of these bad boys, 608s with an RMS power of 600 watts max, which is the same max RMS as these Alpine Type R subs. Alpine used to try to rate them at 1,000 watts when they really weren't. They're 600 watt subwoofers. You could push 750 to them and probably be okay, but do not go any more than 750 on these subs. You're gonna blow them. And then someone like me can buy them really cheap, recon them, have a pair of awesome subs to work with. As you can see, my amplifier ground. It is attached to the lug that was there for the tire removal kit. So the tire removal kit was there inside of the box, and I removed the box and the tire removal kit, and I grounded there. Now I plan on putting the tire removal kit back in here once I get my under seat enclosure fixed, but that will come later. And I'm going to switch to this grounding point, which I've, as you can see, already used for a few different things. This grounding point was for my tire jack. Tire jack went there inside the box as well. Now I'm using that as grounding point. Another very good grounding point you can use in these trucks would be this bolt here. If you have a socket that can fit in there, get it out, I don't, then I suggest grounding there. Again, back door in the back, ground it there, please do. Now, I'll show you guys what I got here underneath my Husky floor liner up front. Now, the wiring's a mess, I know. That's because I got my back seat full of subwoofers. I plan on correcting that with the underseat enclosure I am making. But that beautiful bad boy is powering me with tons of clean power right now. Oh, the music sounds so much better coming from a 1,000 watt DD amplifier as opposed to the 1200 watt Tarantula TXP 3500 I had. Nothing wrong with that amp. It's a great budget amp and everything, but obviously it doesn't hold the lick to the type of power and the clean power that the DD is putting out. And this actually is a 5-channel amp, where I currently have one of the channels bridged, both channels bridged, to run a couple extra subs, and they are putting out about 200 watts bridged on channels 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, along with the 1,000 watts I'm getting from channel 5 on this Bad A Digital Designs D5 1000. It is an amazing amplifier, one of the most powerful 5-channel amplifiers on the market, probably aside from the Digital Designs 1500, which is probably the only one that's above it. It's amazing. These things are amazing. The company's amazing. Get these if you can afford them. Highly recommended. Type Rs, great budget sub. You can find these on Facebook Marketplace all day, going for 200 to 250 for a pair of 10s or a pair of 12s. If you ain't got much money, get some of those. They bang. I'm actually putting them in not a ported, but a sealed enclosure in my under truck seat and my under seat enclosure. WinISD said that it's going to sound better in the sealed enclosure. And with the amount of X-Max that Type Rs have, it probably is going to sound darn good in the sealed enclosure. For some reason I don't like it, I'm going to go ahead and put a port on it. That won't be a big deal to add a port on later. But it's a little bit more of a deal to try to, get rid of a port if you don't want it. So that's what I got going on. As you can see, I'm a pretty big fan of using banana plugs anywhere I can. I'm there. Got banana plugs on my main speaker wires here. Yep, that's what's going to be hooked up to. These trucks are amazing for running cabling in. If you guys didn't know, these pop up very easy. As you can see, that just popped right up for me. And here, there is actually a channel where you run your wire in. It does not make your trim pieces bulge up or anything because the wire runs completely in your channel in the truck. And it runs all the way up front underneath the hood. They even supply you with an open grommet to run your power cable through. It's pretty awesome. Now, that grommet won't fit anything more than a single 0 gauge very, very tightly through it. I had issues running a 4 gauge wire through it when I had a piece of wire wrapped and taped around it, adding extra diameter. The diameter would have been about the size of an 8 gauge, not an 8 gauge, a 0 gauge if I would have pushed a 0 gauge through. So you can only push a 0 gauge through the grommet in these trucks. Now there are 2 of the grommets in these trucks underneath the hood. And I guess I can go ahead and show everybody where those grommets are right now. Why not? I'm making a long video. I don't want to hear you guys talk about how dirty my truck is. I know it's dirty on the inside, but I keep the outside clean. I'm a smoker. It's terrible. I know. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see it there. The grommet location is on the battery side of the truck in these new model Chevys and GMCs. And the wire comes out, you can see, right there. That's where I got my wire coming through the firewall. Now, there is another open grommet on the driver's side as well. So you could potentially run 2 0 gauge wires to your battery without having to make a hole in the firewall. That's pretty nice. Good job, GM, on that design. Also, GM on the design. A GM battery comes stock with these trucks, and it is a big badass AGM battery. I'm running about 1200 watts or so right now. No dimming lights, no cap, no nothing. So I'm thinking you could probably get about 2000 watts or so into this truck before you start having issues with lights dimming and start having to worry about bumping up your alternator, adding extra batteries, or all that stuff that just is not any fun to do. Nobody likes doing that shit. I don't like doing that shit. By the way, the other grommet on the driver's side, there it is. That's what it looked like before I cut it on the passenger side. In the exact same location, essentially. So that's that. Pretty easy to run the wiring in these trucks. It's awesome. I recommend anyone who has a Bose or non-Bose system. Mine was a non-Bose at first, which is what got me onto this whole track of car audio, and I've learned so much, and it's awesome, and I'm going to keep it going and let you guys tell me what you think. All right, Mo Johnson, out.